Hello, and welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things wrestling. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea because you know I love you some tea, purr, and all that good stuff. I'm not drinking anything because I didn't grab anything because whatever. But what I do have is the most important thing of them all is
The
the
cup
cup merch.
mug,
Cup
cup
mug, woo
mug.
woo woo woo. The cup merch. You can get your cup merch at LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. We do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. Not limited to, but including the cup mug or all the stuff. Check out that Etsy shop. There's some great stuff in there. Period.
Yeah, everybody, you should buy your cup mug. I have one. It is just currently in my room, and quite frankly, I just don't feel like getting up. But hi, everybody. It is I, Brooke, your reigning defending queen of the cup ringside here. If you want to know how that happened, go check out the King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring recap from a few months back. Regardless, I'm very excited to be here today because we missed last week. Everybody was a little under the weather. We were recovering from some things, but we're back to bring you some weekly wrestling recap stuff, give you a little bit of a wrap up here, talking about and on the whole, kind of a week in the history of pro wrestling.
Feel like it's been a chill week this week.
For the most part, for the most
For the
part.
most.
Uh, Especially considering out of the two of us, only one of us is even casually an AEW fan. Um, very chill week in wrestling for us for the WWE side of the podcast, aka look under the blue light on your left side of your screen. But um, just quick little thing, because I know we're not going to talk about AEW much today. All In was
I
this
mean,
weekend.
but I feel like this is the time to talk about AEW because it's something I have been keeping up on some things AEW, not all things AEW, but some things AEW. So I
Mhm.
will I will say that I have been keeping up with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know we said we had a different order, but let's just go ahead and get it out of the way today. Um, so All In was this past weekend in Wembley, in London. Uh, Great
I saw
show
that.
from what I've seen. I did not order it because, dear Lord, I cannot be fussed to pay $50 for a pay per view anymore. But what I can do is I can watch highlights and clips on Twitter. So first
Period.
off, congratulations to Christian, your new number one contender for the AEW World Title. Yes, but also, uh, Ricochet is now in AEW
Nobody's
here.
surprised.
No one's surprised, but I'm not happy.
I
Um,
mean, I knew I saw it coming. I saw it coming. All I'm saying, Ricochet, I love you, but you cannot take Samantha Irvin with you. That's all
my
I'm saying.
exact thoughts.
That's
Samantha
it.
Irvin is the best ring announcer in the history of this company, and quite frankly, if she does leave, I think the product suffers. No shade to Ricochet. I think the product would suffer more because
Yes,
let's be honest, they haven't been booking Ricochet very well lately,
absolutely.
or ever. But so I mean, regardless. Uh, Ricochet's in AEW now. We'll see if he does better over there. A couple other title changes happening over there. Will Ospreay is your new AEW International Champion, taking that belt off MJF. Mercedes Monet, the former Sasha Banks, retaining the TBS Championship against Britt Baker. Uh, and of course, you know, you have your brand new AEW Women's World Champion, Mariah May, after a great match with Tony Storm. But we're not going to go into the full details of All In. There are plenty of people who actually watched that full show that can give you recaps here on YouTube. All I'm going to say is, from what I have seen, the show was great. I did not order it and watch it live, and I'm not going to pretend like I did, and I know Lana
No, absolutely not.
didn't.
Absolutely not. No. Couldn't be
You know a
bothered.
show I know Lana did watch? SmackDown.
That is what I did watch. That is the show I watched. I mean, it's the show I watched. It's the show I've been watching, and I will continue to say for the last few weeks, it's been a show.
A
Hasn't
better
been
show.
a
A
better
better
show.
show. A better
It's
show than it was like 2 months ago.
absolutely, absolutely. I will say it's picking up greatly, and I'm loving it a little bit more each week. Um, I want to say last month we were kind of like, SmackDown. We kind of, These last few weeks, I've been enjoying it very, very much. I've been enjoying it a lot more than I've used to. I
S-
was before, but
Since Roman came back, SmackDown has been better. Okay.
yes, I'm
I'm just happy he doesn't have gold around his waist,
yet,
but yet. But I
yet.
will say, I also don't want Cody to have gold around his waist right now either, and he does
Oop,
too. So,
oop,
you know what's crazy? I feel like I know we're going to talk about Roman in a minute in just a second, but I
mm-hmm,
just want to get this out there because I don't know when the next opportunity I'll have to talk about it is. Roman is one of those people that I just hate seeing at the top of the company, right? Forever.
mm-hmm,
But when he's not around, I do kind of miss him a little bit. He's kind of
mm-hmm.
got like that 2010 Randy Orton vibe to him, where like I didn't really appreciate him when he was here, but when he was gone, it was kind of sad.
Huh,
I feel
okay.
like that's a pretty good spot where Roman is. I don't want him to have that world title anytime soon, but this
I don't.
bloodline war, I don't even want to call it a civil war because it's very clearly two different things now.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like it's basically just the NWO faction war all over again, but without having 90,000 people on each side of the NWO. So
Well, unfortunately, this week I'm not going to even be able to talk about Roman because Roman wasn't there. But it's okay. It's okay. We, it was still a good show even without Roman being a part. But let's just jump into it real quick because we did have some really good matches happening. The list of the matches, we had the Bloodline versus Street Profits for the tag team champions. Even though I felt like that should have waited till Saturday, that could have been a match that happened in Berlin. But maybe somebody can't go to Berlin. I don't know. But we all know how WWE is doing the tag team champions right now, tag championship. So, no surprise.
when is the
Um,
last time the tag titles got defended on pay-per-view?
it's been a minute.
Mania? Was it
Uh,
Mania?
yeah, I want to say
I can't think of a time since
I
Mania
can't
where
think
it's
of
like
any before
yeah,
then. After that, uh,
that's
excuse me.
unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. We had LA Knight versus Santo Escobar for the U.S. title. We had Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, the Big Three, versus Alba Fire, Ilsa Dawn, and Blair Davenport. Which I'm loving this because we also got an announcement that Bianca and Jade will have a match at Bash of Berlin for the women's tag team championships. Which I'm like, oh, so we get that one at Bash of Berlin, but we can't get the okay. Um, you
We're not
know,
getting Nia Jax and Michin at Bash of Berlin. That's gonna be on freaking
Raw
SmackDown this
or
week.
or SmackDown. Yeah,
Yeah,
not on Raw.
angry,
So
angry.
it's just like, are we okay? We just
You
pick
can't
and
even
choose.
give me like a 5 minute squash match on the pay per view because we know, like, no shade to Michin. I love me some Mia Yim,
Me too.
but we also know the only reason she is even getting this title match is to give Nia something to do until the inevitable Tiffy time happens, right?
Absolutely,
We all know. So
we all
like,
know.
just
I would rather
at
they just
least let
don't.
him happen on pay per view.
Just let them feel like the champion. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But we start the show with a recap of what happened last week with the Bloodline going after Cody and all that stuff and all that jazz. It was he was in the Grayson Waller effect, and Waller was annoyed because Brody was taking the time to pose and say his catchphrases and do his thing. So Waller's like, he's sick of it. Um, and he said all his friends keep getting beaten up because of him. He's like, do you notice all your friends keep getting beaten up because of you? And Cody's like, oh, whatever. Um, and Cody, Cody called out his hypocrisy and was like, Theory, when you gonna leave him because he the reason you keep getting beat up, blah blah blah, whatever. Kevin Owens comes out to assure that no beatdown happens between A Town Down, but that just led to a match that happens later on. A Town Down against Cody and Owen. Sure, whatever. Then we're going to LA Knight Santos Escobar. It was a decent match. Not gonna lie, I think it was probably the best match of the night. if we had to put matches in ranking of the
I
night.
would agree. They should have given them 10 more minutes.
Absolutely, it should have been the main event. If I want to be, we gonna be honest.
I mean, you know how you fix the show? You put the tag title match on Bash at Berlin, and
Yeah,
then you just let this be, give that
the
match
main
another
event.
10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
boom, suddenly
there
you
we go.
fix the show. But
Period.
whatever.
Whatever. It is what it is. It's just they don't. Mm. Eh, whatever. But they go in. My it was like I said, best my to me the best match of the night. It was very physical. It was very back and forth. Angel and Berto came out and attacked Knight during the introductions. We couldn't even get in the match before he got attacked, so it was kind of crazy. The ref booted them off from ringside. Said y'all can't stay here, but whatever. Um, Knight he's decided to go compete anyway. He almost went with a roll up, but Escobar didn't let that happen. We had two segments, so it went on for a minute. We had two segments to happen, but um, he hit the BFD, retained the title. We been new, we been
Okay.
new.
Yes, but I think it's time we have a very important conversation, Lana.
What's that conversation, Brooks?
LA Knight needs a new finisher. I
Ab-
can't with this BFT mess. Like, okay, I like LA Knight. Quite frankly,
yes.
I love LA Knight. I am a
Mhm.
huge fan,
Mhm.
right? But I
Mhm.
call out
Mhm.
anybody when they got a bad finisher. I called out Naomi when she was hitting people with the rear view. I
Yeah.
called out Austin Theory with that stupid fireman's carry knee bullshit. And I'm gonna call the same thing out on LA Knight because I think he has. I mean, I've seen him do other things that are more impressive when he was on the Indies and when he was in TNA and when he was in NWA. He was doing other things that worked better. I feel like if you like there's just granted it does have that like out of nowhere can be hit on anybody effect on it,
Mhm.
but the move just doesn't have a good impact to it. And I think that's part of the reason like nobody really uses a snapmare driver because it's a very easy move to do. It just doesn't look great. So this is just one fan's opinion, and quite frankly, LA Knight, you are a tenured performer, and if you are using this move, you have a reason. I will trust you on that. But for me, it ain't working.
Okay, well, okay. I take your opinion. It's valid, very valid.
Hmm.
The next match was the big three: Naomi, Jade, and Bianca against Alba, Ilsa, and Blair. This match, okay. So let me just start off by saying I love the big three because number one, the ring gear that they wore for this match. This is why this should be pay per view stuff. This is why this should be pay per view stuff.
It was
They can't.
Simone
It was
Biles.
all small Biles gear. It was the American team. Bianca had on the Team USA's for their gymnastics wear for what they wore the first night. Um, Jade had on her red that she wore when she won her first all around when she won the
Hmm.
all around. And then Naomi had on the stars when she won the floor. And
Yeah.
I mean, not the floor because she didn't win the floor, the vault and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And I was just like, oh, that is so good. That's so good. I love that. Love the reference Simone Biles and for that. But the match itself, it was fine. It was controlled. They all had a chance to shine. Even the other three, Dawn and Fryer and Davenport. Everybody had their moments to do something, but you know how it is with a 6-person tag. It just sometimes gets a
It was a
muddy,
little jumbled.
little
With the
jumbled and
a little
muddy.
jumbled, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I think the right team won, but I think the
Mhm.
wrong person took the pin. I think
Oh.
if you're gonna try to build up Blair as this like new helping hand to the tag champs, right?
Mhm.
You could have had Alvaro Isla take the fall. Quite frankly, honestly, you could have had like Bianca get pinned with a roll up with like shenanigans roll up, right? Like shenanigans with like the tights or like foot on the ropes kind of roll up, so it's not clean. but the
Mm-hmm.
heels still win. I feel like that actually might have been better here. But I will say this: will I ever complain about a big three win? No, no. And
Never.
also, especially not a big three win when Naomi's the one getting the pin. Absolutely not.
Period.
Period.
Period. Because I need Naomi to keep getting more pins and more wins because the way they've been
She
doing my girls is.
she about to be the speed champion. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
I mean, I
But
agree. I think that once I saw the bracket and see who was, I was like, oh, she's gonna win. Oh
well, the
yeah.
only person I thought that could beat her was Lyra,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. And
Mm-hmm.
spoiler alert: if you haven't saw the speed spoilers from the first tape recording between Lyra and
Mm-hmm.
Io beat Lyra.
Oh
So
well.
so Lyra's already out. So Naomi's probably winning this tournament. And when she does, what are we getting? A Glow Championship belt. That is all that matters to me. Thank you very much.
I mean, but we can't see it on TV. I have to watch Speed to see it. But whatever.
Yeah, it would be a
Whatever.
reason to make me watch Speed, to be honest.
Right. If Naomi wins, I'll watch. I'll watch it. I'll make sure to go check it out and find it.
Mhm,
But because I need to see that glow belt.
mhm.
But yeah. But Naomi and the big three win. Even end up winning. Great. I'm here for it. Um, I do wish, like I said, it got a little jumbled because of a 6-person tag. It always happens that way. But other than that, I liked it. I kind of
Excuse me.
somebody said on Twitter, it feels weird that the challengers are overshadowing the champions, and I'm like, in their entrances, and I was like, yeah, but it's the big three, so
I mean, okay, let's keep it 100
let's be
here.
honest.
If Bianca and Jade do not win these belts back on Saturday, I would be shocked. I know we're doing predictions at some point in the next few
Yes.
days, but you tell me right now that anybody in their right mind thinks that Alba and Isla are retaining unless it's through mad shenanigans or
Mad
a
shenanigans.
partner betrayal. One of the only two ways. Because Alba and Isla have done what as tag champs?
Nothing.
Correct. So I mean, and
Nothing.
again, not their fault. Not their
Not their
fault
fault
at
booking, but
all.
absolutely nothing.
Well, okay, that triple threat tag they had with Damage Control and Pure Fusion on Raw last week was really good. I enjoyed that match a lot. But eh, they're not. That was their first title defense, and they've been champs for like 2 months. Although to be fair, Finn and JD McDonough have also not defended their tag titles and since they won them, I'm pretty sure. So,
hmm
but regardless of any of that, Saturday's going to be great because we're actually getting a women's match on the card. Yay!
Right. Yeah. And I can't wait to watch it that afternoon. It's gonna be
Mhm.
great. Up next, we'll have the Bloodline Street Profits match. Jacob is fighting on his with his booted foot, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, work. Um, it was a good match, but I didn't expect it not to be because the Street Profits are amazing tag
Mhm.
team. They always put in the work. The Bloodline with Tama and Jacob, they are going to put in the work. It's going to be incredibly physical. It's going to be somewhat savage a little bit. We're gonna see something crazy from Montez. We're gonna see Dawkins showing strength. We got Jacob and Thomas ooh, just eating it up. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But we knew the Street Profits wasn't winning this belt.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, not
Not
yet.
yet.
I think they
I'm just
could.
happy they're on TV.
Me too. Because honestly, I feel like we're getting shafted when it comes to the Street Profits on my TV screen. And
Mhm.
so, but I feel like it's just too soon for the Bloodline to give up the titles right now. But that doesn't mean we have to not have good showings in the tag team division because I think we definitely need to show the tag team division more and showing that they are, you know, worthy of being on
Mhm.
TV, and they are. And this was a good match.
Do we want to talk about BFAB as
Oh,
well?
please talk about BFAB as
Um,
well.
because okay, BFAB in the ring, from what I have remembered seeing and have seen when she was in NXT and the limited amount we got of her in her first run on SmackDown, which I think
Mm-hmm.
the only match she's had since she's been back after she got re-signed was the Royal Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
not the best in ring worker, right?
Right.
But dear Lord, is she good
Fabulous
on a
on the mic.
mic?
Fabulous on the mic.
So good on the mic. Um, I hate the people they're calling her a valet. Just let her be a manager. Like,
Right.
because to me, the term valet just feels so demeaning compared to being a manager. Um, because like, granted, there are some like legendary valets like Sunny and Miss Elizabeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the big difference between the two of them and like the average wrestling valet is that the two of them were more than just a valet. They were like part of stories, and like, I mean, Sunny was like the only woman in the company at the time. She had to be. Um,
Right.
so just let her talk more,
Yeah.
especially like even if she's going to be working with the Profits and they don't need a mouthpiece like at
No.
all, but you have two really good guys that have a lot of charisma, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have a woman behind them who also has a lot of charisma. I
Yep.
feel like this could be a team that could tear up the tag division if they were on Raw.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
unfortunately, um, because right now SmackDown, I mean, as much as I hate saying this, and I really do, those tag belts are going to be sticking on the Tongans for a little bit, and we all
Mm-hmm.
know it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate because when I think about that, that means I have to watch Tama Tonga do this a lot, and I don't want to watch Tama Tonga do this a lot. um,
I just think I agree with you. I think BFAB is whole. I was like so impressed by her on
mhm.
that mic. I was like, yes, we need that more. And like you said, the Street Profits don't need a mouthpiece, but adding a mouthpiece only makes them better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It only makes them a little bit more
Mhm.
interesting.
It kind of reminds me of when God, who was it with? I'm blanking on the name. Like when Paul Heyman and CM Punk, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Two of the best talkers in the history of the business. You put them together, and suddenly it's even more magical. Now, granted, I'm not comparing
Right.
BFAB to Paul Heyman and the
Right.
Street Profits to CM Punk on the mic, but I will say I feel like there's at least some line that can be drawn in terms of like the similarities between those two pairings. I would love to see where this goes. I hope
Mhm.
this keeps the Profits on TV, even though they lost. But who knows? Nakamura hasn't been on TV since the draft, so who knows?
Right. I do think it'll help
Mhm,
if they come up with something that is uniquely theirs.
mhm,
Because I mean, look how the New Day was. All three of them were good on the mic. All of them are really great on the mic, but they complemented each other. That way, they could all just do their thing. And so I feel like that is something that we could see with BFAB and the Street Profits. They don't have to try to outdo each other, just
mhm.
complement each other.
Absolutely.
And let BFAB do the whole calling them out and introduce or whatever she do. I just want BFAB to have that mic more, and that way I do think she'll be more considered more than just a valet. I want her to be integral in their story, integral in the storyline, and even if she don't wrestle, and that's fine. We know she could take a hit from time to time if need be, take a bump. But I I'm interested in seeing
Mhm.
what happens with them.
I was really hoping she would stick with the Shanti and Cedric when they went back to NXT,
Mm,
but quite frankly, they're doing some cool stuff down there anyway. So whatever with that.
right,
Um, but yeah, I'm just happy that they're all three of these talents are on TV. That's great.
absolutely. And then finally, we did have the A-Town Down Under versus Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes match. That was the main event. Sure. Um,
That's so real. I can't. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, quick pause. They're milking it too much for me. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's because I put something in the Discord earlier. I think it was today, but it might have been
yes,
yesterday.
just
Uh,
today.
where I was like, imagine Kevin beats Cody clean at Bash. We have the rematch at Bad Blood. Kevin beats Cody clean again. Cody snaps, right, at Bad Blood, right, beats the ever living crap out of Kevin, turns heel, and then wins the title back at Survivor Series. So now you have heel Cody Rhodes as a champion, which, let's keep it 100. Cody is much better as a heel than he ever was as a face. Um,
Mhm.
he hasn't been heel in so long. I hope he can still do it, but like he just has one of those faces you want to hit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kevin Owens is one of the most over men on the roster, if not the most over man on the roster. Like that pop he got for that hot tag,
Yeah,
it's a hot tag on a
there's a hot tag.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Like, but no, it was a good pop. So I don't.
it was.
Why would you turn Kevin heel? And I feel like we're gonna get a heel Kevin Owens again, and I don't need that.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but we all know heel Kevin Owens is the best Kevin Owens to me. For me personally, I like heel Kevin Owens more than I like face Kevin Owens because I feel like face Kevin Owens, uh, it just don't seem right. Like he got those beady little eyes. He's feel a little shifty to me at all times. I feel like he the kind of person that's gonna turn at any second. Like I never trust fully face Kevin Owens because I always feel like, oh, he gonna turn in just any second. So I'd rather him just do it and be heel Kevin Owens that I
Mhm.
know is gonna do some dirty stuff and I appreciate it for it instead of being face Kevin Owens and I feel like he gonna turn on me in any second. So I feel like I put my faith in him just for him to turn on me. Nothing.
See, the thing that makes me think that Kevin is turning heel, it has nothing to do with his build, quite frankly. It's the fact that he's using the pop-up powerbomb again. That's what's making me think he's turning
Mm,
heel because Kevin Owens using a stunner as a heel does not work. That move
mm,
is such a
yeah,
baby face move at this point. You
yeah, it's
can't
so
use it as a
over.
finish as a heel. But like that pop-up powerbomb, it was good when he used it to begin with, and as
Mm-hmm.
a heel, it's gonna be great again. I just don't want Kevin to turn heel yet,
I do.
especially
I
not
kind of
over
do.
Cody. Like,
Mm,
if it was something else, I just feel like there's nothing here for me to sink my teeth into.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
yeah, it was fine. Mm, it was Owens and Rose win, but it's always been in the back of Cody's mind: is Kevin going to turn on him or not? That's the main story that was being told throughout this match: is he going to turn on him? And Cody was still a little unsure at the end of the match: is he going to turn? But Kevin just gave him the belt and walked away, and it's kind of just like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm fine. We did have one backstage thing that Nia overheard Chelsea Green and Piper talking about how Tiffy is going to probably turn on Nia soon, and so not that got Nia thinking like, hmm, is she? And she will eventually. We just don't know when. But
Okay, flip it.
mm-hmm.
Tiffany is actually gonna be loyal to Nia, and Nia turns on Tiffany.
Could work too.
I would be
I
sad.
would
I,
love
I
that.
I would be sad.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Regardless, SmackDown.
Overall,
It
I think it was a B,
there's
average,
a B minus,
B minus at
B
the
minus,
yeah.
slightly better than average.
Better than last few months, I'll say. The
I would
last few
agree with
months.
that. I would agree
But
with that.
the build up going into Bash of Berlin was what I wanted for my
Hmm.
SmackDown. Like, because this is like this will be that was the penultimate episode going into Bash of Berlin. So I'm kind of like, that's the kind of build up
Hmm.
I kind of wanted going into it. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Just enough to say, okay, I'm interested.
Well, speaking of build up,
Mm-hmm.
it's time for WWE to build a new building. Apparently,
Yeah,
uh,
apparently.
so their performance center. It's been in Orlando since it started in 2013. It's been down there for 11 years now. Dear Lord, I feel old. But originally it was on the campus of Full Sail University. Now it's not there anymore. But like for other reasons, they don't film NXT there anymore. So it's kind of like off to the side in Orlando. But apparently, we had a call today. An all employee meeting was held today at WWE's headquarters in Stanford. And according to our friends over at PW Mania, uh, their WWE Performance Center will be soon relocating to Las Vegas, Nevada. Are we
Mm,
shocked? Not really.
not really.
Um, for those of you who don't know, as after this merger with UFC and the TKO Holdings group became a thing, everything UFC is in Vegas. Uh, their training center, the Performance Institute, the headquarters of the company, and the Apex Center, which is basically their like smaller venue that they do like fight nights and stuff at sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's in Vegas. I would be shocked if the WWE headquarters didn't end up moving to Vegas shortly. I don't see a reason for them to stay in Stamford.
I don't
But
either.
if especially considering the only thing that's in Stanford is the headquarters, everything else is in Orlando. So you would
Right.
think that maybe they're going to move all of that to Vegas when it moves too. We don't know. But we can say apparently, uh, Performance Center is going to be moving to Vegas. I would assume that would include NXT as well. Um, Lana, how do you feel about that?
Um, I don't mind it. It is, but I don't really care. To
That's
be
fair.
honest, where they move their facilities because it's. I think I if it's going, they're going to upgrade the facility. Sure, I mean it's a great facility they have in Orlando. I don't even think they're going to completely let that building go, the performance center go in Orlando either. I think they're going to use it for other things, maybe smaller type of
Mm-hmm.
things. I don't know. But sure, move it to where they merged with the UFC, and and that's where their headquarters are. I feel like Triple H wants something new, something different, something. I agree with you. I think the headquarters probably are going to leave Stanford soon and come move out to maybe Las Vegas because it's something new or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Will we
Sure,
get the TKO Casino? Who knows?
who knows?
Honest, would it be the most shocking thing WWE's ever done? No. So yeah, not a huge news story, but it is something to keep an eye on. No definitive date, no building plans have been announced yet, so don't expect this to happen before the end of the year or anything. But like, keep an eye out for the announcement in the future if it does end up happening. Um, Speaking of keep an eye out, Ronda Rousey. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey has been all in the press this week. Uh, she did an AMA on Reddit that ended disastrously. If you don't know about that, I recommend looking into it on your own. All I'm going to say is this because we cannot talk about why it went badly on this channel. Just Google it. You'll find plenty of people talking about it in places that they won't get ad blocked on. But
I mean, we don't
uh,
get blocked on here. We're not
True.
monetized on
We
this
could
channel
get
yet. So
suppressed though. We could get
yes.
suppressed though.
Mhm.
So let's not get suppressed. Um so Rhonda did the interview circuit this week, and while she was on an interview with Ring the Bell, another quality wrestling channel on YouTube, shout outs to Ring the Bell, um Rhonda confirmed that there was originally plans for an Evolution 2 in 2019. And the reason it didn't happen is because Rhonda wanted to take time off. When I tell you I'm fuming. Um, so apparently they had planned on doing Evolution 2 in May after WrestleMania that year, the main event with the triple threat of Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. And it was supposed to be a singles match between Becky and Ronda, main eventing Evolution 2. And Ronda told them no, and there was no pay per view. So,
So because Ronda Rousey wasn't gonna be there, we scrapped the whole evolution.
yep.
Okay.
um, in other news, let's just say that because Ronda did confirm that she is fully retired and will never be coming back. Um, Round of applause for that one. Yay! Round of applause for that. Um, Stay gone, please.
Yeah.
After I heard that, I'm not a fan, but after I heard that, ooh, I was mad. I am fuming.
Hmm.
What really
Mm,
upsets me about the whole situation is it was supposed to be like 6 weeks after Mania, right? And like she
mm.
wouldn't have even had to be on TV for all of those weeks. She would have had to been on like 2 episodes of Raw and then Evolution. And then she could have gotten her time off anyway. Like,
All right.
ugh.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So thank
I
you, Rhonda,
can't.
for nothing. Thanks for nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So finally, before we get into our Raw recap, let's go ahead and talk about these new commentary teams that are happening shortly. Pat McAfee is off for the next few months doing College Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, he is going to be back when Raw goes to Netflix. So see that in January. But we had Corey Graves replacing Pat on Raw. This is his first week since Pat's been gone. Uh, and we have confirmed that Michael Cole and Corey Graves are going to be the commentary team on SmackDown starting on September. I forget what date that show is. Uh, I think it's September 13th is going to be the first week that they're going to be on SmackDown. Uh, and we also have confirmed that Joe Tessitore, the guy, he's ESPN broadcaster, is going to
Mm-hmm.
be on Raw when he moves over on September 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
This then leaves the question of, well, who's going to be casting with Joe Tessitore? I pray to God it is Wade Barrett because, dear
Yeah.
Lord, I love Wade Barrett. But
I do believe it's going to be Wade, even though he's been cleared, and they said Wade has been cleared to wrestle again if he wanted to. I think I like Wade on commentary. Not that I didn't like Wade in the ring,
mhm.
but I really like Wade on commentary.
Give me a Wade Barrett Royal Rumble appearance and I'm good.
Ooh.
No, not a Wade Barrett, a Bad News
The-
Barrett Royal Rumble
yeah,
appearance.
right.
I'm afraid I've got some
Some
bad
bad
news.
news. Wade
One of
sitting at
my
the commentary table, and then that music hits,
mhm.
and he gets up, and I will be like, yes.
I want to. We haven't done this video yet, but it's something I want to do. One of my favorite gimmicks I have ever seen in my life. God, I loved Bad News Barrett. Beside the point, I hope Wade's going to be joining Joe on Raw. He's been on SmackDown, if I'm correct, since he started doing commentary on the main roster.
Mm,
So
yeah,
this jump, cool. Give me more Wade Barrett content, please. Um,
work.
but speaking of Monday Night Raw, let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was last night as of time of filming, and it will be 2 days ago as of time of upload. And on the whole, an episode of Monday Night Raw. um, look, okay, as much as I am ride or die team Liv Morgan, as
Mm-hmm.
we are all well aware,
We are.
can we please move on from Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio? I have been dead with this. I feel nothing. The only good thing about the LWO versus Judgment Day matchup occurring was that we got Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro back on my screen. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But like, uh, uh, move on, please, dear God, move on. Um, I hope this is a one and done. I believe it will be a one and done because we're getting Dominic and Liv versus Rhea and Damien at Bash at Berlin. So cool. Let it die, please, dear God. Let Dominic Ray die. Never make me see that match ever again unless it's Ray's retirement.
Right.
Um, I will say Liv is still great. She's doing great in this role. I think Dominic is doing great in this role.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in all honesty, the only person I thought legitimately has been struggling in this whole segment was Ray. So I mean,
Mm.
Ray, I just got to remind you of something, buddy. Retirement is a lovely word that
It's a
has been.
beautiful option.
Yeah, I mean, the longer Ray is around, okay, he's 48. He can still go in the ring for the most part. Let's not tell lies, but he's not gonna win another championship unless it's like a mid card belt or a tag title. He's not winning the world title ever again. He's not gonna be ever a main eventer ever again. I think Ray needs to be looking at the boots on the wall, and no shade because I love Ray, but I think it is about time that we move on from Rey Mysterio as an active ring performer. Um, because John Cena and Rey Mysterio are like the same age, and Cena's retiring next year. So
Yeah.
like, shower thoughts. Um, so we then get Damage Control versus Pure Fusion Collective. If they drop the collective out of their name, I think Pure Fusion is a good name.
Oh, that's a great name.
I honestly, you just take out one of the
One
three
word.
words. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really matter which one. I
Fusion
think it's
collection
Fusion Collective, Pure
or
Collective,
pure
Pure
collective.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Like they're all good. It just
I like
it's
pure fusion better.
Pure Fusion. Yeah, right. It's just a bit much together.
Yeah.
But we had a match between Damage Control and Pure Fusion Collective. That's a mouthful. Um, Damage Control getting the win. Cool. Kyrie Sane getting the pinfall.
Work.
We love to see it. Do
Work.
it. Do women's tag matches this week
Hmm.
where a woman I like gets a pinfall. Love to see it.
Absolutely.
Love to see it. Um, I just want to quick touch though. Why is Zoe Stark so good in the ring but has no personality? And that's not her. That is them giving her no promo time to let her establish a personality.
Yeah.
Um, I like Zoe. I think she's
I
great,
really
but
do too. I really
ugh.
think she's such a good in ring performer, and I want to see her more. But I agree, she's like personality is just like
I mean, I and also on top of that, right? You know who I think has been like an underrated presence on TV lately? Sonya Deville.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
that one, her new nickname is the Pride Fighter. That's awesome.
love it,
I'm here for
love
that.
that, love that
But
for her.
two, this new finisher is good, and I really think that time off with her ACL tear actually helped her. I think it gave her time to like come back a better, more complete version of herself in the ring. And I think this is the best we've ever seen Sonya, honestly. Um, I would not be shocked if like 2 years from now or something, she's in the world title picture. I like it would not shock me at all. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but
Hmm.
like a little bit down the line, I would love to see it. Um, so we get some backstage stuff with Kofi and Xavier. I'm terrified.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
I am
happening.
getting more and more worried about
It's
this New Day
happening.
breakup.
It's happening.
I know.
I hate it. I hate it. And I watched Monday, and I was just like, oh, it's happening. It's gonna happen. And they keep reminding us how long they've been together. Like 10 years. We've been together for 10 years. Da da da. And
Mm.
I'm like, yep. They even the whole outfit change in Xavier. Like now he's wearing all black. He was wearing all black on Monday, and I was like, he's not doing New Day stuff. He's doing it's happening. I hate it. I hate it so much because I really have
No.
a very special place in my heart for the New Day, and that the love I have for the New Day as a collective means so much to me, but
A pure fusion collective.
pure fusion.
um,
But they are pure. Like New Day has always
yeah,
been pure, and I
and
love.
they
But yeah,
fused together.
it's
Like
it's it's happening.
I'm gonna. Okay. Normally, I am not the manifesting type, but I'm going to manifest that it doesn't happen. And instead, as they are on the brink of a breakup, Big E returns to the company, having been miraculously medically cleared to keep the group together. That is what I want. That is what is going to happen. Screw anyone who says otherwise in the comments. I will live in denial. I don't care if I'm moving to Egypt. Okay.
I
Um.
will make that prayer circle with you. We will start a prayer circle tonight.
Yeah. So we then get Drew McIntyre coming out for a promo with before his match with Punk on Saturday, which I completely forgot is a strap match. I've never been a fan of strap matches, so this is going to be
Mm,
a match. Um,
yeah.
insert Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk promo here. Punk comes out, they brawl, yada 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 yada. I am so beyond over this feud, and I know other people don't agree with me on that. I just don't care anymore. I want Punk to be
Hmm.
doing other things. I want McIntyre to be doing other things. And until they move past this, they're not gonna be. We all know they're gonna be in a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, and then at that point we can move on. I hope and pray to God. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was a feud. It is a match.
I just, yeah.
Um, So we get our first of the the two triple threats for the Intercontinental number one contender thingy. So it's Kofi Kingston, Jay Uso, and Karrion Cross. Is it bad that I wanted Kofi to win this match? And I
No.
think there was a really cool story here if Kofi won this match. I think if it's me, right? I swap
Hmm.
Pete Dunne and Jay Uso here,
Mm,
right? I
hmm.
put Jay in the other match and have him win that match, right?
Hmm.
And then you have Kofi win this one. So it's yet another little thing that Kofi has done that Xavier didn't.
Yeah.
Like I know it's
Yeah.
so it might be a little playing the hand a little bit too much, but Again, never going to complain about a Jey Uso win. I'm
No,
happy we move, but it's one of those things where like a tiny little bit of an opportunity was
a
worth
little
it to me,
bit.
but not mad at it. Um, so yeah, great stuff there. You then have Randy Orton come out, promo with Gunther. Yet again, another Randy Orton promo. It was a good promo.
Good
It
promo.
was a good promo. Um, I am excited for this match. I don't think Randy
Mm-hmm.
has a chance in hell of winning this match, but I will
It
say, Randy Orton versus Gunther at King of the Ring was phenomenal.
was really good.
I need some more AJ Styles magic on this thing again. So like, give it to me. Um, Beyond that, also I didn't realize this, but he mentioned it in the promo. If he wins the world title again, he'll be second place all time,
Yeah.
behind I'm assuming the tie of John Cena and Ric Flair.
John Cena, Ric
So
Flair, yeah.
yeah, so that's really cool. I
I
love that's
feel like I want that. I kind of want that only because I need Randy and John Cena at WrestleMania next year. I just
okay.
do.
I want John Cena and Randy Orton at WrestleMania next year, but I think there's another way to get there without it being for a world title.
Okay.
Um, I think Cena's going to win the world title with his last match, and then he's going to
Mm,
retire, and then there's going to be like a thing to win the belt, like a tournament or like some match to win the belt or whatever. Um, because you can't have Cena win the belt and then lose it again. Like the culmination of his career is going to be breaking that record if he does it, right?
mm-hmm.
So here's what I want. I want John Cena to win the Intercontinental title at like around King and Queen of the Ring time next year, right? So like May,
Okay.
or June, whatever. Have him win the belt. Have him lose it in like a triple threat where he doesn't get pinned, but then he becomes a Grand Slam and a Triple Crown, which again, it's shocking Cena hasn't, but
Right.
let him have that. And then his entire last like 4 months in the company is just him trying to get that last world title. Like, oh god, I would love it. Um,
Should he win Rumble?
no, absolutely not.
But he wins King. Well, could he win King and Queen in the Ring?
I think okay, to me, if I'm John Cena, I have two goals on this last run. One is to win the Intercontinental title, two is to win a one world championship. It does not matter which one, just a world title, right?
Okay.
And I think if I'm Cena, my priority is that world title. But if I
Mm-hmm.
happen to get a shot at the IC title, I'm not going to turn it down,
Right.
right? So we'll see where it comes with it. I'm excited to see where Cena's at, but we don't got to worry about that until December. So
Right.
yeah, we then get Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Wow.
Why is Bronson Reed suddenly the most interesting part of the show? Because
Wow.
how is 2 months ago nobody cared about this man? How is he the most over guy on Raw right now? Because he is. It's kind of crazy. We get an insane moment. Bronson Reed does a tsunami onto Braun Strowman on the roof of a car.
Yep.
It broke the windows of the vehicle. You can't script it. I don't
No.
know. I don't know what to tell you, but Bronson Reed is suddenly the coolest dude on Raw, and I can't be mad at it because all I was saying for months before that was I love Bronson Reed and I want him to have more
Mm-hmm.
time on TV. And now that he's getting more time on TV, he's insane. I'm so excited for him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because his work at NXT when he was the North American champion was also super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff here across the board. Match ends in a no contest, but also the fact that it came on Braun, right? That means a lot to me. And I think it would mean a lot to Bronson as a performer too, because he already beat up Seth Rollins, right? But Seth was injured, right? He beat up the Miz, which Miz is a former WWE champion, 2-time Grand Slam, all that stuff. But it's the Miz. Braun Strowman is a guy that's like always going to be at the top of the card. So having this happen, I think is huge for him. Um, we then get Xavier Woods versus The Miz versus Pete Dunne. Triple threat match. Winner advances in that number one contenders tournament for the IC title. Again, if you weren't gonna have Kofi win,
Right.
I was
Right.
expecting Xavier to win. Um, but I will say this. I will say this. A Pete Dunne win? Not mad at it. I will never be mad at a Pete Dunne win. So I like. I know you are not as big of a fan of Pete Dunne as I am, but I will say this: he's been doing some cool stuff on NXT. He's doing some cool stuff on the main roster. Pete
Mm-hmm.
Dunne, as much as I hate saying this because, as you know, Tyler Bate, call me. Tyler Bate tearing his pec might have been one of the best things that's ever happened to Pete Dunne in this company, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving him a lot more TV time. I love Tyler. Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Bate is delightful. Sol Ruka, you are a lucky woman.
Mm-hmm.
But um, Tyler Bate is out, and he will be for a while. And I think giving Pete this opportunity to prove himself as a solo guy is going to be huge for him. So good stuff for Pete here. Still think it should have been Xavier, but whatever. Um, so then we get the main event of Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable. Um, please let this be the end of this, please,
You've been
please,
saying this for
please.
weeks now.
I will keep saying it until it's over. I still think there are other people that the Wyatts could be feuding with to boost them further up the card than a recently turned heel Chad Gable and a brand new stable that is getting devalued week after week, right? At this point, the only difference between American Alpha and American Nade is that one group had Otis Tozawa and Maxine in it, and the other one
Mm-hmm.
has Ivy Nile and the Creeds, right?
Right.
I,
Right.
and because after this, right, it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. I think it was a lot more
Mm-hmm.
competitive than I thought it was going to be. But where do American Made go from here? They just got thoroughly beat by the Wyatts for weeks,
Right.
lose the match. Where do you go from here? There's nowhere for them to go. And that bums me out because this is a group with some of the most talented people signed to this company right now.
Mm-hmm.
All four of
Mm-hmm.
them. They should be moving up the card, not getting pushed down it.
I agree.
So let this be the end. I cannot deal with a further devaluing of Chad Gable. Um, so yeah, it was an episode of Raw. For the most part, I think it was good. Uh, my favorite part of the night was honestly Bronson Reed. I like words that I never thought would leave my mouth. Bronson Reed is my favorite part of Raw,
Yeah.
but he's my favorite part of Raw right now, and I'm really excited to see where this goes for him. I need Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage immediately.
Ooh.
um,
Ooh. That might be real good.
and have it end in a no contest.
So we can continue this.
Shower thoughts. Yes. So yeah, so that
Mm-hmm.
was Raw. I'll give it a B-2. I think on the whole, pretty even week across the board. Good and bad on both shows. Um, but yeah, Raw happened. It was the go home before Bash at Berlin, which is this weekend.
Yes.
So we'll see how the matches that are coming out of that are for Raw. Um, but unfortunately, that is not where this show is going to end this week. We do have to talk about some rather sad news that came out of the wrestling world, I believe just yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid, Sid Udi is his actual name, passing away from cancer at the age of 63. Um, former WWE champion, former WCW champion. Again, it's one of those things that you don't realize how big of an impact a guy had until you go back and you look at it and you're like,
Mm-hmm. Oh
wow,
wow.
he fought Undertaker at WrestleMania. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
he was a former WWE champion. Wow, he's got some of the funniest unintentionally funny promos in the history of this business. Um, and like for me, my first exposure to Sid was when they were doing that whole thing ahead of Raw 1000 in 2012, where Heath Slater was getting beat up by all of these legends, and Sid came out and was one of them. And like, I don't know who this man is, but I like him. Um, and going back and looking at it and watching some of his stuff after that was really cool because that was like right after the network started. Um, this one's weird. Like the feeling I have is because apparently it got announced that he had cancer in 2021, and I completely flew over my head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sid has passed away at 63. It is a very sad day for wrestling, honestly.
Yeah,
Um, don't be surprised when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think, and I it would shock me if he didn't.
absolutely. I remember Sid for a little bit longer than you. Um, I remember when he made his debut in WWE, and he was Psycho Sid, and it was kind of interesting. I didn't. I was. He was one of those characters of that gimmick that I had to figure out how I felt about him. You know, it didn't just come off like me and the Undertaker. When the Undertaker came out, I instantly knew I loved him. Did nothing. It was just instant. With Sid, I had to. I fell in and out of love with Sid. He was one of those characters that if he was you know, if he was fighting my person, then I'm not rocking with him. But if he was fighting somebody who I didn't like, I'm rocking with him. So he was one of those people. But he had one of the funniest ways to cut a promo to me that I just enjoyed. I really like the Psycho Sid gimmick and how he cut his promos when he was in the Psycho Sid gimmick. It was very much like he would be very serious all of a sudden, and he's like, "I'm coming, and I'm gonna get you," and then he just starts laughing, and it's this maniacal laugh, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then he stops real quick, and it's back to the serious. It was some of the best stuff to see on TV for me to
Mm.
watch, and I loved it. I thought he was very good with cutting promos. I thought it was very effective for his character. And yeah, once you like you said, once you go back and start thinking about all the things he's accomplished and everything that he's done in the wrestling industry, he's like, wow, he's done a lot.
Mm.
And that makes it makes it even harder for when we hear someone who has passed on. But he was fighting cancer for from what I've seen, from what I've heard for a while, and now he succumbed to it. So all of our thoughts and our prayers and condolences go out to the family of Sid Udi. And yeah, but
Um, and I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with Sid, if you're one of our fans that has came over from one of our other Cup channels, uh, his impact in his life. He had multiple kids.
hmm
One of his kids was a contestant on Big Brother. So I mean,
yeah,
like we're talking about, I'm not going to get into who because, but you know, like Sid's entire impact is something that like you again, like we mentioned, you don't really think about it until it's put into perspective. It's kind of like Kevin
hmm
Sullivan when he passed away a few
hmm
weeks ago.
hmm
It was one of those like, oh, oh, like that's kind
oh
of how it
yeah,
felt. And I'm shocked Sid's not in the Hall of Fame yet. I think he will be very soon.
yeah.
Possibly even this April. It would not surprise me at all. And I think he absolutely deserves a spot. He's a two-time WWE champion, and it's another one of those things where it's like, wow, this is just really depressing, and I don't really
hmm
know a better way to say it than that, other than thank you, Sid,
Right.
for giving us decades of wrestling memories that I know plenty of other wrestling fans are going to look back on very happily.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to do it for us. We are going to get out of here. And we appreciate you all watching and taking the time to check us out. I didn't say it at the start of the show, but y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and follow us on this channel and follow us on all of our other channels. We are part of a network, the Cup Network. So all of the links will be in the description below for all of our other channels as well. So you can go follow us and check all of those out. You could follow us on our audio podcast channels. That link will also be in the description below, so you can check us out on the go. We see y'all listening. We see it. We see y'all listening, and we appreciate you. Our Patreon is also down there as well. We're gonna get better on this channel to give some early access things and some exclusive content. But our other channels are definitely giving exclusive content and early access things. But we go work it out on this channel as well. But we do have that for our Patreon. So go join our Patreon. And uh yeah, if you keep scrolling, you can get your merch at LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. That link is also in the description below. And we'll be back next week. We'll be back tomorrow night to talk about, well, Thursday night.
It'll be airing Thursday for you. Well, yes.
Yeah, it'll be airing Thursday for you to give our predictions on Bash at Berlin. We'll record it tomorrow. It'll be out on Thursday. Bash at Berlin, that's happening. So we'll give our predictions. So be on the lookout for that and get your predictions in mind so you all know what, and put those in our comments. And anything that you have that we thought that we talked about today that you want to talk about, put in the comments below.
Mhm.
And that's that. We're gonna get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Bye
Cheers. Bye.
bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.
Peace out, y'all.
Mm.